Welcome, friends. Today, we are doing another fragrance rotation video for the week ending the 3rd of July. Good Lord, 2022. Hurrah. So, I must inform you about last week. The last week has been a shitty week, weather-wise. Unbelievably strange and unusual weather. Monday was quite warm, but the rest have been changeable with large amounts of like showers and rain and overcastness. It's been more like a humid spring day than a midsummer's day. So the perfumes in this video will reflect that, including today's scent of the day, which is a fragrance I have not worn before. I'm not even sure if you know that I've got it. But anyway, we will start, as always, at the beginning. And that was Monday. And on Monday, when there was a little bit of heat, I decided to go for Portrait of a Lady. This is named after a book. It is not in and of itself a perfume depicting a portrait of a lady. It is eminently unisex. I absolutely love it. Rose, patchouli, bright patchouli, like a scratchy patchouli, a big bright rose. But the main note in this, I've got to be honest, right? The main note in this is a massive, massive dollop of ISOE Super. It is huge. This is more an ISOE Super fragrance that has rose and patchouli rather than a rose and patchouli fragrance that has some ISOE Super. Nevertheless, it still smells fantastic. It's a great fragrance. I really like it. This is how a patchouli, rose, ISOE Super fragrance should be done. There are plenty of rose patchoulis. And there will be plenty more rose patchoulis. I am looking forward to wearing more of this, but there's not really much I can do to tell you more of what this smells like. It's dark, but it's bright. It performs massively. You could wear this all year round. Total signature scent. Generally just a good egg, you know? It's a good fragrance. It's one of those ones that gets talked about a lot in the community and deserves to be talked a lot about in the community. Don't just overlook fragrances like that simply because everybody talks about them and you want to be edgy, you know? Because we can all fall into that trap sometimes. If you haven't smelled this, give it a go. But ISOE Super Ahoy. Like, the more I smell it, if you know what I mean. Next, on Tuesday, which is the day after Monday, I had to think there, I wore this. Put some bubbles in it. Etro Sandalo. This is a fantastic sandalwood fragrance. It was very quiet when I first bought it. It was extremely quiet, almost silent it was. Just moving that little label around because it's still stuck on it. Like, it doesn't come away from the bottle, but you can't just freely move it around. These are the original Etro bottles. They were all splashed. They were all colognes. This is, well, I mean, it's sandalwood, amber, little bit of patchouli, vanilla, like a spicy vanilla though. I get a little bit of spice from this now. It's starting to open up a bit because obviously you can imagine it's been like caged for like 30 years in like a fridge in Naples, and then it's come to like my house and I've opened it and used it. It's just starting to like express itself, come out a bit. It's really good, soft, for when you don't want to make a huge impression, but you still want to smell and smell nice. It's very close quarters. It does need reapplying every 2 to 3 hours. It is a cologne. But it smells really nice. It's really, really good quality. It's got that, I don't want to use the word vintage, but it's got that, like, if you smell like a vintage samsara, or if you smell like an older bottle of a sandalwood forward perfume, you'll know older sandalwood smells different to newer sandalwood. How can I put it? It's like aged. It's not macerated. Maceration's what perfumers do to perfumes. They don't macerate in the bottle. They age. Anyway, Wednesday, I was watching the tennis, and somebody left a comment on a video that I did, I think on Tuesday, and they said, Rich, now that Wimbledon's on, are you going to be wearing Coros Eau de Sport? And I thought to myself, good point. Very good point. That is exactly what I'm going to do. So I decided to wear Coros Eau de Sport, and it was warm. I won't lie to you, it was warm. It was more humid than hot. But I decided to go for it, and it was fantastic, to be fair. You can wear this all year round as well, just Coros Light, basically. Literally, it's like vintage Coros, just light. Let's be careful here. Whoa! It really is. Coros Light, it's fantastic. I love the bottle. This is actually Charles of the Ritz, if you recognise the font on the bottom. Brilliant perfume. Love this. Got a few bottles of this. And it's made of plastic. Like, in the 80s, they went through this phase of making bottles out of plastic because like the idea was that you would throw them in your gym bag and they wouldn't get like broken and stuff. I can see the logic. But yeah, that's what I decided to wear. Breezy short shorts and all that sort of thing. I don't wear shorts, actually. My legs are too pale. Anyway, Thursday. Continuing on with my thoughts on sandalwood from Tuesday, I decided to wear Vintage Creed Original Santal. Now, allegedly, I don't know if this is true, but allegedly the old bottles, when it first came out, they had Mysore sandalwood in, but obviously they've had to stop using it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, because I don't know if anything's true about Creed at the minute. Who knows? They could just be anything they say you've got to take with a pinch of salt. Excuse me whilst I hydrate, because Olivia Creed's not the most honest person in the world, let's put it like that. Not a stand-up guy, but I wore this. I went to the shops, had a smell, had a nice time. Yes, I quite liked it. Maybe it's a little bit thick because it's got there's a lot of serious push. I mean, it does smell like Yo Pom. It just does. And it's a little bit goes a long way, put it like that. And I don't just mean like sprays. I mean, you can wear this once and then not wear it again for another 2 or 3 months. Well, that's how I feel about it anyway. But I wore it on Thursday and it was all right. Friday was a strange day weather-wise. It was overcast. It was a little bit humid again. There were clouds in the skies, but I wanted to wear something that was fresh but had a bit of depth, and so I went for this. And this is brilliant. Homme de Grey. This is fantastic. What age are you? Who made you? Parfum's grey. I got this from a news, so I'm imagining it's a vintage. I was assured it was, and he's never led us astray before. So this is a vintage bottle. I don't know if they still make this, but what a fantastic perfume! And it's big citruses at the top, lemon, ugh, but it's got this smoky oak moss in the base that is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. This is another one you could probably wear year round. Maybe not in the depths of winter because of the citrusy top, but you could wear this almost any other like occasion, even in like the parts of the winter that aren't like really really cold, you know. But this has got that it smells like a smoky leather, but it's actually the oak moss, and it's a huge oak moss, and it's beautiful, and I love it, as you well know. So that was Honda Grey. Yesterday, which was Saturday, I decided to wear one of my favourites. I am about halfway through this bottle now, as you can see, and this is L'Instant de Guerlain ADP. Excuse me whilst I hydrate. This is a rare case of me actually preferring the reform or the re-release to the original. Eugene very kindly sent me a bottle of the vintage Eau Extreme, and it was lovely. It was awesome. And I loved it. And then I broke it, so I had to decant it into one of the bottles that I've got, and I did, and then I compared the two, and I think it might be just because I've smelled this one first, but I do actually quite like this more than the other one, more than the original. Oh, it's just a little, the chocolate's just a little bit more in this. It's like there's a little bit more furry, rounded. I love it, and I'm happy. I mean, that you can get these cheapest chips at discounters. So I'm happy to just spray this on merrily. I usually go about 8 or 10 sprays of this stuff, because I don't think you can overpower people with it either. It's a very easy, breezy fragrance, even though it's got that chocolatey note. It's like a powdery cocoa rather than like a syrupy, rich, like actual chocolate. Which brings us on to today. I'm going to reapply. So this fragrance I bought off a friend called Christopher, who also sold me a bottle of Feeling Agile. Truly a good lad. I hope you're well, Christopher, if you're still out there, mate. I should send you an email, really. Not Christoph from Germany, who is also a good lad, a great lad. But this was Christopher. And I bought this from him. I can't remember how much, but it was like half price or something silly like that, which was good. And it's another Guerlain. And it is Chamad Homme. In the same sort of bottle as Heros and Voyou Lupin, which I've considered wearing as well. But I decided to go for this one because it's the first time I've worn it in anger, really, and I thought, go on then, why not? And I've got to be honest, the first few times I smelled it, I wasn't huge on it, but I'm coming round to it. It's very nice. It's very classy. You could wear this in polite society, you know what I mean? If you were like going somewhere where you had to be on your best behaviour, you had to go and like meet your partner's parents or something like that, you know? If you wanted to smell like good for other people and make yourself look good, you would wear this. And I'm slowly but surely coming round to it. I wasn't huge on it at first because it is very floral in the heart. A little bit peppery at the top, but then you've got like these two huge purple flowers, like violet and hyacinth, and they dominate. They absolutely dominate. And they're done very well. They're blended beautifully. They're blended perfectly. This for some unknown reason, I know there's leather in it, but it's got just the slightest vibe of Derby about it. ever so slightly, it smells of Derby, and it's by Girl On, and it's fantastic. Like, Derby is fantastic, but this smells really good, like, by itself. I'm coming around to it. I'm more usually, I like a bit of, what can I say, a bit more bass, in my perfumes. I like a little bit more, so this is more like airy and thinner, as Guerlains tend to be, very perfumey. I like some of my, strange thing to say, but I like some of my perfumes to have a bit more sort of a smell rather than a perfume. It's a style thing. It's not an actual smell thing. I'm getting lost here. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed my weekly frotation. I will see you again soon, hopefully, with some more samples. Thanks very much. Bye.